What's up, Knighthawks fans? I am your multimedia journalist, Susie Cool, and today I am joined by Knighthawks head coach Mike Hasen and his son, newly acquired during the 2022 NLL draft forward, Austin Hasen. Guys, what's up? What's happening?
Not a whole lot. How about yourself?
Just hanging out. Just hanging out. What about you, Coach? What are you up
to? Yeah, pretty much not much. Just trying to get the last few weekends here before with the family and stuff like that, and get ready for Thanksgiving for us next weekend. And then we're right in it. So looking forward to that.
You mentioned a couple more weekends with the family. What's on the docket before you get into training camp?
For us, we go up to my in-laws' place. They have a place up in Manitoulin Island, and so that's our Thanksgiving spot. And it'll be the first time, I think, in 5 years that Austin's going to be able to join us because he's finally home from school. So yeah, so we go up there with the family, and like I say, we spent Thanksgiving there with my mother-in-law and father-in-law, and yeah, relax and kick back a little bit.
Austin, you excited to be with the fam again?
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, missing out on Thanksgiving turkey for the last 4 years is a little tough, but no, this will be fun. Yeah,
I was gonna say that's never fun. I know when I have to miss Thanksgiving turkey with my family, I'm definitely upset about it, but hey, you're back this year and that is what matters. So let's go over this father-son dynamic that you two have, coach and player. Let's start with you, Coach. How has this dynamic grown over the years as you've even went from player to coach with Austin?
Yeah, it started really young, and I think I pulled out the picture on his draft that he was born, in my opinion, he was born to be here, born to have a lacrosse stick in his hand. I think we gave him one, probably before that picture was taken. But over the years, I used to be hard on him. He used to be, as a coach, he used to be my example that I would make sure the other guys were aware of, because I didn't want to ever seem to be a favorite. So growing up, he maybe took a little bit more than he should have. But I think, but there's a stage when he probably became 13, 14 years old where, the reins were off, and I let him be a player, as opposed to my kid. I think I did anyways. He may have a different story on this, but it became more conversations about what he saw, because and what he thinks he can do and what his team could do as a group. So I really leaned on him for advice, basically, as it went. And then, like I say, where we are now, and coaching with him in Peterborough this summer, it's again a little bit of, he's a man now, so he has his opinions, but at the same time, you're going to fall in line to what these guys are doing, and I lean on the veterans to teach them some more. There's only so much as a dad and a coach that I can do, but it's the veterans that are doing it with him that can give him the tips and such, and away he goes. So over the years, again, as I said, it's been a lot more friendly, a lot easier conversations now than it was earlier when he was younger, I think.
You talk about those harder conversations that you had at the start of Austin's career. Austin, how did that better you throughout your career, maybe make you a better player, want to be a better player?
Well, you never like getting in a car after a game and getting yelled at 12. So I think all those conversations lead to, you want to do something better, and you want to, what he was yelling about necessarily, you want to do that better. So I think that helped a lot growing up. And like you said, I think we got to the point where probably midget year where we started talking more, and it's not so much yelling after a game. It's more conversation on what are you seeing? So like you said, it kind of grew my game, and it not only allowed me to talk to him and see what he was seeing, it gave me a voice as well. So it was a good way to grow up there and continue growing up. Nowadays, like with junior last year and then the majors this year, it's a lot, like you said, it's a lot more what is everyone else seeing, what is this, what is that, and he does lean on the veterans, and he does not necessarily just talk to me about it, which is always nice.
Yeah, and you look at your dad's career, very prolific within the National Lacrosse League. Now he's coaching in the National Lacrosse League. Was there ever any added pressure as you were growing up and playing the game? And how did you kind of navigate that, if there was?
I wouldn't necessarily think there was pressure coming down from him on me playing the game. He kind of
Mhm.
just allowed me to do what I loved, and I love lacrosse. So that pressure wasn't coming from him. But yeah, I would say there's a little bit of pressure. You're following in line with your dad's name, so you don't want to necessarily put his name down in the ground, but yeah, I don't think it's. I think we play different games, so I think it's a different type of.
Dad, you're laughing. Why are you laughing at that?
Because back in the day, I used to know how to score goals too. I got pigeonholed when by my coaches at some point, but no, Austin has a general natural knack for scoring goals, and good thing for him. Hopefully, that's one thing that I kind of learned from him, that you're gonna have that hard work ethic. You're gonna work
Mhm.
hard every time on the floor, but guys that score goals get paid more. So learn how to score and then go from there.
Yeah, and coach, you talk about going to Austin for advice at times when you are coaching him on these teams. What may some of the advice be whenever you're coaching him about other players?
It just more so what he's seeing. It's one thing for us to tell him, and again, that's the way I do it in Roch, right? Like, okay, we would like to try it this way, but this is a bit of a blueprint that's in kind of in pencil for the most part. You guys are on the floor doing it. Like what do
Mhm.
you see that we can just sort of tweak things here and there, and kind of go from there? It's going to make us all better. And again, he's playing, like I say, playing with junior and playing through minor lacrosse in Brampton. He's playing with his friends, and he's
Mhm.
with those guys an awful lot more than the couple hours that I'm with them at the arena. So what do they feel? What do they see? What are they capable of doing? It's one thing to, like I say, my read on it, but having a different voice and a different perspective, and again, that's what we do as a coaching staff. Like, it's everything's collaborative, so we just want to make sure that we're maximizing his effort and everybody else's effort that's on the floor.
Let's go to the draft. I mean, a big switch up in that first round. The Nighthawks end up selecting Austin 18th overall. Austin, when you look at going into the 22-23 campaign, you just signed your contract with the Nighthawks. I mean, what are you looking forward to the most about navigating, or hopefully navigating, this first season in the National Lacrosse League with your dad?
Honestly, just getting on the floor. It's gonna be fun, and you're taking it all in. I know that first training camp, it's gonna be just one of those things that you just have to soak it all in. You're on a floor with a bunch of great guys and great coaching staff. So now that like entering Peterborough it was just, you got to soak it all in and listen. You just got to listen to what everyone's telling you and what everyone's saying. So that's my biggest thing I'm looking forward to, is just learning and soaking it all in.
You mentioned Peterborough. Hey, you guys just won the Man Cup, what, a couple of weeks back at this point? Have you come down from the championship high yet?
It was definitely hard to. Yeah. No, it was a good time there. Yeah, it was fun.
Coach, what about you? I mean, you had a lot of players on that Peterborough team that will be on this Nighthawks roster going into this season. What excites you about looking at that roster that can now be brought to the National Lacrosse League? How can they maybe feed off that championship team?
I think that's the biggest thing that we're hoping that they can do, is that kind of,
Mhm.
again, it's different experiences, right? And it's a different league, and it's a different roller coaster ride, but having that experience of the ride we had, hopefully we're going to be able to lean on them, and they can give us a little bit of advice, and that it's going to make us better. And like I say, it's pressure playing in the summertime, and it's different pressure again in the wintertime, but pressure is pressure. And we want to put pressure on ourselves to be better, and hopefully these guys can help send that message, that calm the waters, I guess, to a certain degree. And just use that to our advantage. That like I say, it's one thing to have those expectations. I think we have high expectations running into this year, but it's how we're going to succeed as a group to get it. And I hope hopefully that experience they had again this summer will help push us through.
Now, Coach, you coached Austin in Peterborough. You've coached him in juniors. You've coached him throughout his whole life. But how is this experience in the National Lacrosse League going to be different from the others?
Everything is another level. Going from minor to junior is a level, going from junior to major this summer, which he did, is a different level, and going from major to the NLL is a totally different gear, and it's a totally different level. I've been on him his entire life about the certain things and aspects of his game that he's going to need to improve on to make sure he's going to have an opportunity, or he has an opportunity to make the most of his opportunity. And we'll see, right? It's one thing for, being a dad, and I got to look at him every day and see him in the house, and I know what he's doing. I know what he's not doing, but it's on him. So all I can do now is offer advice. Come the end of the month, if he took the advice or not, he'll show the other coaches, and he'll show his teammates, what he's done, and go from there. Again, right? He's my kid, but he's his own man, and he's going to make his own path. So it's on him from here forward. And again, as a dad, I hope he's listening, and he's going to show well. As a coach, he better show well.
Austin, are you listening?
Yep.
He says, yep, I'm good to go. All right. So for Austin, for you heading into into training camp, what is your biggest focal point going to be?
It's going to have to be getting chemistry down with the offensive guys, learning how they play, and learning how I can get them open, and not necessarily just running into spaces. So that's definitely going to be the biggest point that I'm going to have to try to find early, and figure out how I can better not only myself but the individuals on that offense as well.
Okay. Now, Dad, I did hear you say earlier that you used to be able to score goals too. So I don't know if this is a thing in lacrosse, one-on-one lacrosse. Is that a thing? You guys had to take one another. Who's coming out with the W now?
I'm going to say me, because I still may have a couple tricks up my sleeve, but it'll have to be one. It'll have to be one turn, one and done, because I don't know if my fitness level can keep up with where they are right now. So, but yeah, that's my story. I'm going to stick to it.
Okay, that's your story, but we could also try it out during the season. We're not opposed, okay? Austin, you going with Dad, or are you taking yourself in this one?
No, I see how he used to play, and it's a lot of slashing and grabbing, and he can't do that anymore. So
some smack talk. I love this. Well, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to join me here today.
Thanks, Susie.
Yeah, thank you.